Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Martin Ruof. We're going to get started in about 9 minutes. Not about, actually, in 9 minutes. So it's going to be an amazing training. I definitely would recommend right now texting people, everyone in your teams, texting people that you've, perhaps even people that have even, they've already seen a presentation, but they haven't yet joined. You could even invite them onto this as well. It's going to be an exceptional training. Get ready. Buckle up. Here we go. 8 minutes.
I just wanted to have people that were like forward thinking. That's him. Somebody that had a great heart. Man, that's him. Somebody that would be committed to the team. Boy, is that him. And so, without further ado, what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce you to one of World Venture's newest marketing directors, Chuck Lewis. Chuck, are you there?
I am, Hadi. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. We can definitely hear you, Chuck. So before we kind of get into what we're going to do, can you do me a favor? In about 30 seconds, give us your background. Just give us like your little story so we understand like who we're talking to today.
Okay. Hey, everybody. My name is Chuck. I'm a dancer, dance instructor, dance choreographer, DJ. I do a lot. In the entertainment business, I'm known as the #1 bad boy Chuck. And bad is my business name, stands for Be a Difference. And that's because that's how I live my life, by being a difference in other people's lives. I literally get a high from helping people. And that's what drives me in regard to this business.
Awesome. So Chuck, like, give us like your story. Like, how does this work out for you? Like, tell us what's going on real quick.
Okay. Well, phenomenally. I mean, I started out slow. A lot of people would have quit in my situation, because it took me a whole year to hit senior rep. And like 3 months after that, I was like 5 people away from from director. But then my business slowly went backwards over the next few years. And it wasn't until my 4th year in that I finally hit director, which was last month. And almost 2 months, a little less than 2 months later, here I am, marketing director. And it's not from me, it's from my team. I have a phenomenal team, and they are crushing it with and for me. So we made it to marketing director.
That's pretty awesome. So you said it took you a year to hit senior rep.
Yes.
Then business did like what it does. So just so you guys know, if you've never done network marketing or never had a business, businesses go up and down. Okay. Like that's just normal. And so you're saying your business went backwards a lot.
Yes.
And as it went backwards, you just continued to do what you did. And then you hit director this year, 2018.
Yes.
And then a month and a couple of days later, you hit marketing director. So tell me like, what's going on? Like, how did that happen? Like, what did you do that pushed you towards this massive action and for you to be able to rank up in this short amount of time? Talk to me.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, Hadi, in all honesty, I haven't done anything different than I've been doing since I first started in this business. My head has been down and I've been killing this business ever since that I've been in it. Like I said, most people, they get discouraged, especially when their business goes backwards. A lot of people will really get discouraged. I never did. I've never had a moment of doubt. I've never had a moment of discouragement. So I killed this business all the way through. But this $99 promotion, oh my God. I've shown and signed up a whole lot of people over these 4 years that I've been in it. Hence the fact that my business was able to go backwards because I've shown so many people and signed up so many people. And a lot of people got in and quit. But this $99 promotion, I was able to go back to everybody I've ever shown this to or signed up. And because I was so diligent in doing that and taking advantage of this promotion, yeah, that really propelled this thing for me and for my team. So that was this has been a phenomenal promotion, and I hope to God that everybody is taking advantage of this thing because it has been a godsend.
Perfect, perfect. And I mean, honestly, this has been what has switched things up for a lot of people. And, you know, you took massive action and urgency as soon as it came out. You know, I remember days where it was like 20 people coming into your team like one day, and I'm like, wait, what's going on? And
Yes.
It makes sense. You know, you planted the seeds and you were watering the seeds all this time. And then all you needed was like a breakthrough, so some good weather. And then those seeds were able to flourish. And so it's good that you were able to take advantage of that. Now, Chuck, with your growth, like what are the things, like what are the tools that you use? What's the best way that you expose people? Because to have hundreds of people come in 30 days in your organization, like you had to have been doing like something special. So like, what's your best way to show somebody?
Well, some people get in this thing and they immediately gravitate to a particular way. Some people, they say, I love showing the video. Another person is, I love going to the live presentations. Another person is, I love using the webinars. Hadi, I try to tell everybody that gets on my team, do not gravitate to anything. I don't have a particular way that I need or want to show people. In other words, I throw some people throw everything but the kitchen sink at people. I throw everything and the kitchen sink at everybody. I use webinars. I use weekly meetings. I use go and sit down with one-on-one. I definitely use 3 ways. You know, I've blown your phone up over the years. So I definitely, 3 ways are crucial, you guys. Definitely use people to get on that phone and give them their story, even if you don't have one.
That's perfect. So basically what you guys are understanding is that like there was no secret to the sauce. I mean, he just uses everything. You got to just understand that you have a blessing. You got to get this in front of people as quickly as possible. So what Chalk said is, he said, I'm just going to get in front of them however I can. So that's pretty cool. Now let's wrap this bad boy up and, you know, tell us what you're going to do in January to like position you to win. Like, you know, what's your goal for 2019 and how do you plan to go ahead and attack that bad boy?
My goal is to not celebrate this. You know, I thank God for hitting director last month. I thank God for hitting marketing director this month, but I don't have time to celebrate. My head is still down. I'm not looking left or right. I'm crushing this deal. All I see is IMD. So the next level is just another stepping stone for me. I'm absolutely not stopping at regional marketing director. Those are just levels. IMD is all I see.
Okay. Well, I love it. Chalk, your energy, enthusiasm throughout the 4 years it's been consistent. And guys, I'll tell you this, like one of the things that I've admired about Chalk throughout is that he did not prejudge anybody. I mean, it didn't matter if you were wealthy or if you were struggling to pay your light bill. We were sharing this information with them. The other thing that I'll tell you about Chalk is that he's consistently done this. And most people can't be consistent with anything, and that's what throws them off. Maybe brushing your teeth. Some people aren't so great at that either. But it's the consistency, and his story is inspiring to me personally because I think that people will dictate how they do things based off of the results that they get right away. And he has not done that. He has dictated how he's done things based off of the person that he is and his character. And so, Chalk, we celebrate you. I know you're not taking a lot of time off to celebrate, but understand that you are a badass leader. We are very thankful to be in your presence, and we are very excited to see you walk stage, not once, but twice at
Absolutely.
Momentum. So thank you so much, Chalk.
You're so welcome. Thank you, Hadi.
My pleasure. So, guys, I wanted to start this off with just some background insight. Hear somebody else's story. They say that facts help a story sell. And, for me, I'm the girl that loves to hear stories. There's different personalities in what we do. And a yellow person is like, ooh, I like butterflies, and I like to feel good. And that story definitely made me feel good. It makes me feel good to see that people are winning at what we do. Now, as I go into this, guys, I'm going to give you some of the basics. So some of you guys already know the basics, but what I've learned is that sometimes we forget to stick to those basics. And so we're going to go through and teach you guys how to invite people. Simple. We're also going to teach you how to close them, how you're going to be able to get a sale. We're going to also teach you how to handle objections, because sometimes people are just a little special and you've just got to have the posture to be able to win with this. And so First things first, let's make sure that as you get anybody started, we're going to make sure that you download the Dream Trips app. Some of you guys already have it downloaded. Some of you don't, so download it. I'm going to add something to this really quickly. When I get somebody started, I get them to download the Dream Trips app, but on top of downloading the Dream Trips app, I have them go to dreamtrips.com. And as you go to dreamtrips.com, you log in like normal, but I have people do that so that I can show them a shopping mall. Now, what I've learned is that people can go on trips, but they shop a whole lot more. And so I show somebody how to go and shop online right away. For you that are brand new, you're going to go to dreamtrips.com. You're going to log in. At the top left, there's going to be 3 lines. You click those 3 lines and then you click online shopping. It's going to take you into a mall that is like heaven. If you have kids that are in college, there's college bookstores on there. Ladies, if you need to get like, I don't know, makeup, Sephora's on there. Guys, if you want to get some Timberlands or some Nikes, those stores are on there. If you have like an office and you need to supply your office and get some ink, Staples, Office Max, all of that is on there. And so you could use that on a day-to-day basis. So we'll make sure that we download the Dream Trip app. Now, so you'll know how to get this in front of people. You got to know that it's not your job to explain this. Your job is to invite people where they can have a clean slate and they can receive this blessing. So if you look at this, and you can take a picture of these slides. That's what I would do so that you could use these to teach yourself and also train new members as they come in. Words for you to avoid: business, opportunity, presentation, network marketing, meeting, travel, and money. Now, the reason that you're going to avoid these words is because you do not want anybody to prejudge. For somebody like me, you know, I was already running a business. If you told me that I had to go to another meeting, I'm like, I work all day, every day. If you use the word network marketing for somebody like me who was against network marketing, who didn't fully understand network marketing, you could have turned me away. If you say travel to somebody, even if they love travel, if their bank account is not set up in a way that they can take advantage of travel at the time, you can turn them away. And so you want to make sure that you don't tell them anything until they can see everything. Excuse me. So let's just go through how to text somebody to get them to come out. Now, when I started 6 years ago, I was afraid to call anybody. Don't judge. It is what it is. And I was in Cincinnati, Ohio at the time. And Julian Bernard, who you guys are going to hear from in a minute, he's a complete and total badass. Julian Bernard and I drove from Cincinnati, Ohio to Detroit, Michigan. It was a 4-hour drive. And on the drive, I literally was like hitting people up. So like, let me just tell you exactly how you can do it. So, hey, when do you have 20 minutes? You can be in front of your computer or phone without any distractions. Let me do it again. Hey, when you have 20 minutes, you can be in front of your computer or phone without any distractions. When they tell you that time, great. I got something exciting I know you will appreciate. I'll call you then. So your job is not to like spew on them. I got travel, I got money, I got all of this. Your job is to just set up the time, set up an appointment like a business, and make sure that you know the exact time that you're going to be calling them. And guys, if you're not good at time like me, I don't know if any of you guys have seen Finding Nemo. Anybody? So like Finding Nemo, there's a character, her name is Dory. Dory forgets who she is, okay? So like I'm Dory. So I would forget to call somebody back. And so what I would do is set an alarm in your phone so that you're able to go ahead and hit the person up right at that time and go ahead and get them to see this. A webinar 2-step text. Hey, what are you doing in 15 minutes? You guys, we actually are going to have a webinar tomorrow night, so use this tomorrow night. Hey, what are you doing in 15 minutes? They say nothing? Cool. Download the app called Zoom so you can jump on this webinar. It starts in 15 minutes. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, sometimes I'll use the word webinar. Sometimes I'll use the word like an online event. Sometimes I'll say like an online meeting with me. Sometimes I'll say something like that. And I just put it in there. I want to share something exciting I know you'll appreciate. So we're always putting in there, I know you'll appreciate it. So it's not like something it's just for us. It's like something for them. You're never going to give the Zoom out until like it's about the time for them to get started with it. And so you want to make sure that you control the situation. Now, as you guys look at this, we're going to ask you, like, what is it? Like, if you're asking me to get on a webinar or something, what is it? What's going on? So your first option, it's something that I think could be a big blessing for you. Now, if you said that to me, I'm in. You know, I'm a true believer that he blesses you every single day. You just don't even realize it sometimes. And so a blessing would work for me. Option number 2, I want you to see it the way I saw it get excited for tonight. I want you to see it the way I saw it. So basically, girl, I can't explain it to you. I need you to see it. Like, if I try to explain it to you, I'm going to ruin it. Option number 3, too much to text. I'll see you tonight. Get excited or stay excited, right? And so your job, if you guys cannot tell so far, is to keep it very simple and plain. The people that win at this are the ones that are able to teach something that is simple to people and it can duplicate very quickly. Now, as you're inviting people, I want you to make sure that you take your feelings and emotions away from it. It is very easy for you to have your feelings hurt because your friends ask too many questions. They're not willing to see it right away. Like, just understand that you're like a waiter, okay? And so at the end of the night, every single time you go out to eat, the waiter comes to the table at the end. Before they give you their bill or your bill, they say, hey, do you want a dessert? And sometimes people say, yeah, and sometimes people say no. Understand that the waiter does not go to the back when you say no and say, desserts don't work. No, they're like, oh, they don't want it right now. See, one thing that I realized in this is that this is not for everybody right at that time. You know, timing is everything for them. So like, here's a perfect example for me. This is kind of random, but I don't know if you guys have ever gone to the mall. And when you're at the mall, they have, you know, like the food court. And there's like an Asian food place. And you're walking by the Asian food place. And what are they asking you? They're like, try this. It's free. It's free stuff, guys. But it's chicken. So you're trying to give somebody some free chicken. But if they're a vegetarian, they're like, no, I don't want it. Now, they don't get upset. They're like, oh, I'll just go to the next person. Now, I want to go through all of these invites, and I'm gonna go off of the sides for a second so that you guys will know like what was important for me. When I started this, I knew that I had to figure out if people were free, so I had to like clear the date. So when I would call people, I would be in a rush. If you can't tell, I kind of sound like I'm in a rush anyways, and I really was. My schedule was so tight that I did not have a lot of time. And when I would call, or even if I'm texting, it would be quick. So let's say that I'm calling my friend right now. His name is Martin. You guys know a guy named Martin. You're going to hear from him in a second. So I'll call him and I would say, hey, Martin, really quick, I don't have a lot of time. What do you have going on tonight at 10? If Martin told me nothing, I would potentially invite him to my house, or I would say, I'm coming over. See, Chalk said something that is critical for us to understand, that there's not one perfect way to share this with somebody, but what I truly believe is that the more people that I can get in front of and they can feel my passion and my emotion and they feel my excitement, the closer that I'm going to be to really winning, you know, because they're going to know that I'm real about it. And so, hey, Martin, really quick, I don't have a lot of time. What do you have going on tonight at 10? Martin says, nothing. I'm saying, perfect, I'm coming over. Now, when I get to Martin's house, I'm not going to try to like tell him everything about what we have. I'm going to tell him why I'm in this. And I'm just letting him know, like, listen, I saw something that will allow me to do the things that I said I was going to do like a long time ago, but I really was just falling short. Now, it's huge. You know, it's like an international kind of company. And actually, it's like the #1 company in its industry in the world for the last 6 years in a row. You know, I've done a lot of research. You know how I am. But I want you to see it. And I want you to see it and understand that if it's not for you at this time, I promise you, I'm not going to feel a certain type of way. I promise you, I'm not going to feel a certain type of way. So I'm going to just let them know that if they don't get it right away, that's fine with me. And then I'm either going to show a video, which we have plenty of videos, or I'm going to like show them the presentation, maybe go through the slides. Now, that's what you would do if you were in person. Now, what I said when I was started was that Julian and I were driving from Cincinnati to Ohio. I shot out a text, and this is what the text said. It said, hey, with a bunch of exclamation points, what are you doing tonight at 7? Everybody that said nothing, I said, come through. That's literally what I said. Like, I didn't call them. I was nervous. I text them, come through. Some people ask me what it is, what's going on. And I just told them I was working on something huge. Like, I'm working on something huge and I want to get in front of you first. I'm working on something huge and I want to get in front of you first. And as that happened, we had 13 people that showed up from that text, for real, off of a text the exact same day. For you guys that are out here right now and your party planners, understand that it's not your job to plan this out 2 or 3 weeks ahead. If you just started today, the best time to get this done is like tonight, like tomorrow, because your excitement level is crazy high and your friends and family members will feel it from there. And so that's just like some simple ways for you to invite people to see exactly what this is. Now, as you get people to see it, they know exactly what's going on. You have to know that you have to ask them for what we call the sale. You have to like push them to do something. Now, I don't know if any of you guys are like me, but the way I'm set up, I don't work for free. And working for free with us means you get them to come out. You did the hard work. Somebody else does a presentation. They do a phenomenal job. And then you have the nerve not to ask them if they're ready to get started. So sometimes it's difficult for people to get comfortable with it, but you got to understand that sometimes we need to be pushed. So are you ready to get started? It's pretty simple. It's a pretty simple way to ask people. And, I had multiple ways that I asked people if they were ready to get started. Like some of them was like, you want to join me? You want to have some fun with me? You want to make some money with me? But I always knew this. People would know if I was timid, shy, or afraid. And so growing up, I grew up in an area where nobody looked like me is what I'll say. And I was not super confident growing up, right? But what I learned was that if I pretended I was confident, then people just bought it. And I did that long enough that I gained confidence and posture, which is very important. People want to follow people that they know can actually lead them. So you got to ask the question. Now, we're trying to just collect a decision. That's it. Every time you share this with somebody, you want to collect a decision. You were just going to yes or no. And so you've got to understand that in this situation, if you're not closing them and asking them for the sale, then they're probably closing you with their excuses. You got to know at the very beginning when you're sharing this with somebody, you're going to let them know your passion and your why, and it actually starts to close them right at that point. Now, here's just perfect scripts. Screenshot. It's pretty simple. So that was awesome, right? Yeah, it was awesome. So did you like the travel side of it, the helping side of it, or the money side of it? Or was it all that got you? Whatever they say me too. So I'll give you an example of like how I would close somebody. I would say, hey, Martin, that was pretty dope, wasn't it? Do you see why I'm so excited? And Martin says, yeah, or Martin says, no. Either way, I'm going to the next step. And the next step is, so what was the part that stuck out to you the most, or what was the most intriguing part for you? Was it the travel side, the helping side, the money side, or was all of it pretty intriguing to you? So let's say Martin says the travel side. I'm saying, me too. I wanted to go on some more trips. I need that in my life. Let's say the helping side. Listen, you guys, when I started this, I was about to donate my kidney to my brother. Your girl likes to help. If you say the money side, I've already run a couple of businesses, and so the money side makes sense. So me too. Tell me about it. Like, what are the things that you need to kind of get you going? Now, if you can master this part, you're going to see so much success, so much more success in your business, because people will know when you're like confident in being able to do this. So here are perfect ways. Somebody's phone is on. Do me a favor and mute yourself out, Chalk. It sounds like your stuff is doing that. Awesome. Thank you. So closing and enrolling questions. Are you ready to get started? Are you ready to travel with me? Are you ready to make history with me? You guys, I like to ask people, like, are you ready to have some fun with me? Are you ready to like live the life that you deserve with me? Like, listen, if it's a guy and a girl type of situation, like with us, just do like with us. That's way better. But I wanted to just let you know that as they tell you whatever it is, you smile and you nod and you chill. After you ask the question, you don't have to keep talking. You really can just chill. And as you do that, you will allow them to talk. See, what happens sometimes is we're so eager to talk to them that we don't give people the time it takes for them to fully make their decision that they want. Right now with the $99, like people make a decision pretty quickly. Just give them the time to do that. Now, as they say yes, here's what I don't want you to do. Don't be like, oh my God, in the presentation, they didn't tell you about the mall. We got a good mall. Oh my God, in the presentation, they didn't tell you about the foundation. We got a good foundation. When they say yes, you shut up and you either have them fill out an application or you do it on your phone or a tablet or whatever it is. people lose a sale because when somebody is ready to do it, they want to explain a little bit more. So your job is to not do any of that. Now, if they say no, we have a guy that is, he's going to explain to you what you need to do if they say no. He knows how to handle objections better than pretty much anybody. He's somebody that I really got to know these last couple of years, and I'm just thankful and grateful that he is the leader that he is, but more importantly, that he has the heart to serve like he does. You know, I was always looking for just more. You know, I'm the type of girl that has played sports my entire life, and I don't need one coach. I need like 3 or 4. I need like different perspective on things. And for me, I was just looking for more. And what's so awesome is that in World Ventures, there's always more. There's some amazing people that could get you where you got to go. And this is one of them. I mean, one of them that knows the business pretty well because he's like one of the founding members. On top of that, he's $1 million earner in this. He's at the top level of the company. Don't worry, it'll be 3 times very soon. But I get to say he's my friend. And that's the most important part of all the accolades that I just went through is that I can say he's a friend, he's a mentor, and him and his wife have literally paved the way for all of us to change our future. And so without further ado, I would love to introduce you to our international marketing director, $1 million earner, Mr. Martin Ruof.
All right. Thank you very much, Hadiatu. I appreciate the fantastic introduction. And as always, you rocked it. You are awesome. And I want to congratulate you also again for reaching international marketing director, for earning it. I mean, Hadi, you are the bee's knees. You are the deal. And, you know, you're someone that has been a product of the product. You've been a product of the system. And you've also been very, very blessed to have an incredible team. And I'm going to say this to everyone that's watching this, anyone who's reached IMD, heck, anyone that's reached director, senior rep, you've been blessed with great team members. No one reaches these high levels by themselves. And, you know, you heard Hadiatu giving a lot of recognition to people in the team and certainly to Chuck. And this is what it's about. It's about a team effort. And you've got, you know, great mentorship and just great leadership. So Hadiatu, thank you. I'm really looking forward to seeing you walk the stage at Momentum. And I want to also just say hello to everyone. We've literally got people from all around the world on this right now. It's very, very exciting. And I was just going through looking at some of the names, but we've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people on this, again, from all around the United States and all around the world. And just to reiterate what this training is really about, it's about teaching you the fundamentals, because the fundamentals are what absolutely positively create wins in this business. Doing the fundamentals consistently and persistently, again and again and again. Wayne Nugent, our co-founder, you're going to hear from him very, very soon. One of the things that he taught us very early on was master the mundane. Master the mundane. And it's funny because we've got NMDs. I mean, Dr. Pat Bernard is on this thing. We've got, we've got IMDs, Gail Spears. We've got Kevin Lewis, director, Michael Mann. We got people, very successful people that are on this, and they're watching this and they already know. They've already mastered a bunch of these things. All the things. They could be doing these trainings. But what's great is that they're on here too, because they know that it's always about sharpening the knife, sharpening your axe. That's the key. So with that said, I'm going to just pick up literally right where Hadiatu left off. But actually, before I do that, I'm going to actually bring on a very good friend of mine. I'm excited to introduce him. I want you to hear from someone who's having a tremendous amount of success in this business. He is, I'm telling you, he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. He is truly a humble servant. He's someone that he's an excellent trainer. He's just a great person. And he's the kind of guy that's going to just help anyone in the team. And the team is one big team. The team is World Ventures. Doesn't matter if you're in his organization or if you're in Eric Grzybowski's or if you're in Troy Brown's. It doesn't matter. Johnny Wimbry's. It doesn't matter. He's just got a great heart. He's not a particularly funny guy. So just prepping this, if he says something it's not going to be funny, but just laugh anyway. He can't hear you, but he'll feel your energy. So, so with that said, Dr. Michael Marich, how are you this afternoon?
I'm doing fantastic, Mr. Ruof. How are you, sir?
I am wonderful. And for the record, Michael Marich is a regional marketing director. He's also one of the trainers for the company. I'm telling you, you're going to be seeing this guy cross the stage as IMD very soon. I love this gentleman. He's not funny at all, though, so don't laugh. So with that said, Michael, I want to ask you a couple questions. How did you get started in World Ventures?
Well, I got started a couple of years ago. This coming from the guy that used bee's knees to describe Hadiatu. So, yeah, I'm not funny at all, Mr. Bee's Knees. That can be the new hashtag for you. But I got started in 2011. And when I got started, I was very skeptical. I was a restaurant owner. My wife and I had restaurants in New York City and Miami. On the outside looking in, amazing restaurants, very busy, very, very well recognized. And on the inside looking out, we were working 16, 17, 18 hours a day, 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week. When I saw this, I didn't realize I needed this. When I saw this, I didn't know what it was. The person that showed it to me used to work for me. She was a waitress that, to be quite honest, was probably the worst waitress we ever had in our restaurant. The only reason I didn't fire her was because she was a friend of the family. And I thank God every day that she quit because we maintained that relationship. But, you know, several years after she quit, she comes to my house, knocks on my door, and shows me this video. And I'm blown away. I said, man, if this is real, I'm all in. And if it's not, I know where you live. I'm going to hurt you. Luckily for her, it was real. And since that point, let's preface that, before World Ventures, 4 vacations in 17 and a half years. 2 of those 4 vacations went to see the in-laws, so that doesn't count. And since that day, we've been on over 170 vacations because of World Ventures. Life has been completely different. Everything's been different. I've been a better husband, been a better father, better friend. Not funny yet, but one day I'll get there to your level, Martin. I'm working on that comedy routine, but I will be the bee's knees in your eyes very soon.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. I knew I shouldn't have said that as soon as it came out of my mouth. So, okay. So you've had a lot of success, and I want to ask a couple of serious questions. And by the way, do understand, if you're watching this, the questions that we're asking, you're hearing from people that are in the game winning at a high level. Okay. So these are good questions. The answers are much better, of course. So what are 3 factors that you feel have led to your success in 2018? Because you've definitely had a lot of success this year. What do you feel like have been the major factors that have led to that?
Well, the success in 2018 actually started in 2017 when we started planting the seeds. And I'll take it back to the very first training I ever went to and the very first words I ever heard out of the mouth of Mark Cassetta. 3 factors: pay attention, get excited, never quit. Number 1, pay attention. Pay attention to people that are winning at a high level. I was paying attention to Hadiatu. That's why I ran back to the house and put on a pink shirt. I'm going to model whatever she does. She's wearing pink. I'm wearing pink because Hadiatu just got to IMD. I got to get to IMD. So whatever Hadiatu does, I do. But, you know, all kidding aside, I'm paying attention to Martin Ruof. I'm paying attention to Willis, to Keith Willis. I'm paying attention to Hadiatu. I'm paying attention to Gail Spears. I'm paying attention to Greg Boyko. I'm paying attention to Julian Bernard. I'm paying attention to all the badass people that are paving the way for us. What are they doing? What are they doing and how are they doing it? Because if I pay attention to them, I know that half the battle's already won. Get excited. Dude, I've never been more excited by this company. I've been excited since day one. I've had ups and downs. It hasn't been a straight path. We didn't go straight from 0-0 to RMD. We got really close a couple years ago. And what did I do? I took my foot off the gas, wasn't paying attention, wasn't excited by it, and I went backwards. And in 2017, I said, you know what? Enough is enough. We're going to plant the seeds, and we're going to have the greatest 2018 ever. So I got excited by my product. I got excited by the people around me. I got excited by my leadership. I got excited by my teammates. I got excited by other people's stories. And the last part of that, part number 3, never quit. Never quit, man. There's been times, I'll be honest, there's been times I'm sitting there going, really? Do I have to go through all this struggle? Well, there is no testimony without the test. There is no message without the mess. And I had to go through the mess, had to go through the test to get to the message, get to the testimony. And right now, we're not where we want to be. But this year, our team has produced 2 IMDs, 2 NMDs, 7 RMDs, over 40 marketing directors, over 80 directors, and over 230 senior reps. That's all happened in the last 12 months. So, yeah, 2018 was a great year because we planted the seed in 2017.
Okay, good. So what's your plan specifically for 2019 to reach IMD? If there was 2 things that you would say, what would those 2 things be?
So one thing that I learned from from a really good friend of mine who happens to be my mentor named Martin Ruof. He says this all the time, and this year it's stuck. Your goal is now my goal. It's not about me getting to IMD. That has nothing to do with the game plan. And to be quite honest with you, if we stop right now, man, this has been one of the greatest rides ever, but we're not stopping. My goal right now is to bring as many people possible with me. People ask me, how does it feel that someone on your team got to the highest level before you? Awesome. You know how cool it is to see people on your team actually cross stage and get up there and say, listen, it's been a great ride, and thank you to my mentors and thank you to my team. Watching other people cross the stage has probably been the biggest high I've ever had in my life. So I'm going to get to where I'm going to get to, because we heard the quote earlier. If you help enough people get what they want, you'll automatically get what you want. I have a list of 20 people that deserve my time, 20 people that are kicking ass. They are total badasses, and my goal is to have all 20 of them walk stage. If I'm half as good as I think I am and I get 10 of those across stage, I'm automatically getting to IMD and getting very close to double. So the plan is not me. The plan is we. We're going to do this together.
Cool. Okay, good. All right, excellent. So I just lost my question here that I have for you. So then what are three things what are the three things do you see new members do that lead to their success? So what are the things that new members do that you see that leads to their success?
Well, the ones that we've had success with so far, and Hadiatu hit it right on the head, get the basics down. I think it's almost the same with everything. In sports, when they tell people you're in a funk, go back to the basics. Go back to the basics. What are our basics? Our basics are inviting, showing the deal, presenting it, closing them, answering questions, and educating them. We have 4 basic things that we got to get to all the time. And if you're only good at one of those 4 things, get good at inviting people. Get good at the invitation. And I get blown away because when we started, when we restarted and planted the seeds again, we were doing webinars like this every single day, and we were getting 8, 10, 12 people a night. And we just kept we're excited. It's 8 new people watching this. And all of a sudden it went from 8 to 20 to 50 to 80 to 100. We have webinars right now that we can get 300 to 400 people on a webinar because everyone's excited. They know they have to get the invites. Invite people. It's a numbers game. And if we go through the numbers, fast is fun, slow sucks. Go through the numbers. And the new people are going through the numbers faster than they've ever done before. And how are they doing that? We're telling them that's the only way to do it. If they don't know any other way, that's all they're going to do. So they're going to do what they see, not what you tell them. So do it, show them how to do it, and make sure that they see you doing the same thing. Because if they see you out there putting in the numbers, they're going to put in the numbers. Perfect.
Awesome. Awesome. Michael, thank you. I appreciate your time. And beautiful background there. It looks like yeah, wow, that's very nice. All right. Man, I love you, brother. Thank you for everything you're doing. And remember, you are the bee's knees. All right. With that said,
you, brother.
Okay.
Thank you.
With that said, I want to jump in. And by the way, Kirk, but I saw that you like bee's knees too. So here's the idea, everyone. This is a very simple business. I want to jump back in and I want to talk to you about how you get people on board, and getting them on board is not complicated at all. It's basically exactly what Heidi said. It's just asking them, hey, are you ready to get started? Are you ready to join us? Are you ready to have fun with us? Now, what happens if they say no? You see, sometimes what happens is you'll get what we call objections. People will say, oh, no, I don't have enough time. Oh, I don't have the money. Oh, I think this is a pyramid. Or you know what? I just need to think about it. So if you get an objection, just understand that objections aren't bad. I want you to do what Dave Ulloa taught me and thousands of people a long time ago. Dave Ulloa is one of the top earners in the company. He and his wife, Yvette, international marketing directors. Hands down, he's one of the most legit trainers in the company. He's tactical. He's phenomenal. So one of the things that he said is when you get an objection, don't get nervous, don't get scared, and don't get defensive. Play offense, embrace it, actually have fun with it. And what he said is smile. You just smile and you lean into it. And one of the things that we teach is you just agree with them. And so if somebody says to you, you know what, I just don't have the time. Oh, I'm so busy, I don't have the time. You could say, you know what, I know exactly how you feel. Literally, when I saw this, I was feeling the same way, or I felt the same way. But here's what I realized. This really isn't about my time. It's about who I know. because there's a whole system, and that system works for me and with the team, whether I'm really giving it all of my time or not. So listen, are you ready to get started? That can be how you handle a simple objection like, I don't have enough time. Now, there's some other ways, but this feel, felt, found is fantastic because literally you just agree with them. I know exactly how you feel. I felt the same way. What I found is, or what I realized is, and then you answer it. Okay, now, people don't really care about the facts. They care about the stories. But here's a couple fun things that you can share with people. And by the way, I want to give a quick shout out. These slides, and I hope you're taking pictures of these, please do. But these slides were actually created by Max Laura. Max Laura is a marketing director in the team. And you want to surround yourself, here's another clue. You want to surround yourself with people that are better than you at certain things. Each one of you, you're excellent at certain things, but there's people around you that are better at at other things. That's teamwork. When you work together, that's how everybody succeeds. So Max Laura, you are legit. Thank you for everything you're doing. You're a ninja with the computer and graphic arts. So, okay, back to the closing questions. Okay, now objections. I don't have enough time. This is hysterical. You could literally say, especially this is somebody that's like a friend of yours, you could go, okay, are you bragging or complaining? I can't figure out which one. Because the reality is that really a good thing? See, I don't need your time to build you a check. We just want to connect with your people. It's not about how much time you have. It's about who you know that makes the difference. Here's another great one. You're always telling me how you want to do this and how you want to do that. Well, look, man, here's your shot. And then finish up with this. All I know is, look, in the last 2 years, by plugging into this system, I went from working 70 hours a week to working 25 hours a week, and my income has literally increased. So straight up, man, are you ready to get your time back? Isn't that fantastic? Take a screenshot of that. It's brilliant. Now, you can also, again, follow up. Do you love what you do? Yes or no? Do you love what you do? And if they say no, then you could say, listen, so what you're saying is you choose to spend all of your time doing something that you don't love, and you're building someone else's dream instead of your own. And then, final word, are you ready to get started? Smile, nod, and look them dead in the eye. And zip it. Don't say anything until they say something in response. Okay. Hey, another objection. I don't have enough money. Man, I don't have. How many times have you heard that? We've all heard it a billion times. I don't have enough money. I was thinking that before I joined. I was thinking, I don't have enough money. And I pulled out a credit card and was so nervous because I was certain it was going to bounce, wasn't going to go through. And when it did go through, I was completely shocked. I acted like, of course it went through, but I was, couldn't believe it. But here's the thing. People will use excuses about not having enough money because they're afraid of taking action as something that can make them money. People get comfortable being uncomfortable. We're looking for the people that are uncomfortable being uncomfortable. Or we're looking for the people that are uncomfortable being comfortable. We're looking for the uncomfortable people that are ready to do something about it. But so if you get this, man, I don't have enough money. Look, straight up, we can either feel sorry for you or we can help you. Which do you want? Say that to somebody. It's powerful. So what you're telling me is you were not able to save 1 quarter a day for the last year, literally $1.95 per week. That's what you're saying? So let me ask you, did you buy Starbucks coffee this week? Because if you did, I know even if you got the tall, I know it costs more than $1.95. So do you want to have the same conversation next year, or do you want to get started on creating another stream of income? That, my friends, is a very, very powerful thing to say. So if it weren't for the money, would you do it? And if they say yes, say cool. Now I know you get paid on Friday, so you want me to run your application on Friday or want me to run it right now? Another powerful thing. So wouldn't it be great to never, ever, ever say that you can't afford something that you really want to do? Wouldn't it be great to just never have to say that again? So let's not say I can't afford this, and let's think about how you can afford this. In fact, let's take action and just get you started. Smile, nod, zip it, and wait for them to say something else, okay? Take a screenshot. Nope, you know what? I need to think about it. Okay, here's where we start creating fear of loss. And we could do a whole training on fear of loss, but without doing a whole training on fear of loss, it's that FOMO, okay? Fear of missing out. So the way you create fear of loss is visually, it's a very good thing to have what we call the timing and placement sheet. I don't have a picture of it or a slide of it, but it's essentially, you could just get out your notebook, which is mine is in my bag. Just get out your notebook and have your list of names. And I want you to write down at least 50 names, Better 200. Literally just dump your phone out. The contacts on your phone, dump them out onto a written page, whether it's a legal pad or a notebook, something that's visual so you can show people how serious you are about getting started with this. So literally, here's how you create fear of loss. You show them that list and you say straight up, I'm going to put this in front of hundreds of people. What's smarter, for you to come in now, before they get started, or after they get started? And just look at them and wait for them to say something. You can also say straight up, this is going to happen with or without us. Now notice the language. I didn't say this is going to happen with or without you. You can say that, but it's powerful if you say us, because now you're psychologically enrolling them already because you're including them. Look, this is going to happen with or without us. Travel is a $7 trillion industry. 1% of that is $70 billion. Dude, are you coming with me or not? Look them dead in the eye. Another thing, remember how we always talked about setting up our families? Man, I am all in on this, 100%. Let me know if I'm going to be the only one who changes our family's financial history. Again, silent, look him in the eye. Are you ready to get started? Are you ready to do this? All right, this is good stuff. Take a picture. Last thing, facts tell, but stories sell. Tell people's stories. People don't care about the facts. People don't remember the facts. Now, right now, there's a bunch of green analytical people going, oh, yes, we do care about the facts. The facts are very important. Well, the facts are important. However, people buy on emotion. They do not buy on logic and reason. They buy on emotion. So when you can create emotion, that's the deal. You want to create emotion or activate it in somebody else. The way you activate emotion in someone else is by having it yourself. Telling a story, you can sometimes get lost in the story. You can get emotional in the story, and that emotion creates a visual picture, a mental picture for someone, an emotional picture for someone, and it could compel them to get started. And the way you do it is you say, look, I don't know. If they say, well, I need to understand exactly how the compensation plan works. I need to know exactly the definition of a binary. Like, you will get asked this from time to time. I don't engage in all that. I go, look, dude, I don't know. I don't know all the answers. But here's what I do know. I don't have to have all the answers. All I know is I was waiting tables. I was 35 years old. I was struggling. I was unhappy, man. And I was looking at people and waiting on people that had the life. They were living the life. They were laughing. They were having fun. They were having the fun and living the life that I wanted. And I knew in my gut I could have it, but I didn't have the vehicle. But I found it. And all I know is after some hard work and a ton of fun and 200 vacations later, dream trips later, I'm earning millions of dollars. And we're changing people's lives. Are you ready to get started? Now, that's my story. For you, you have to find yours. And don't be intimidated if you're brand new and you don't have been on hundreds of vacations and earned millions of dollars. Don't be nervous if you don't have a story like Dr. Pat Bernard. Don't be nervous if you don't have a story like Gail Spears. You don't need stories like you Lowe's, like twins. You don't need a big story. It's not about having the big story. It's about creating the big story. That's what people have to capture. It's not about where you are. It's about where we're going. You see how simple this actually is? Now, one of the things you can do to tell stories is use a three-way call. Share your story, and even better, get someone else to share theirs. Get an expert, get a Greg Boyko, get a Nate Stallworth, get someone to share their story while you're building yours. See, one of the things that we use, and listen to this, and you'll want to write this down. I heard this from Roscoe Taylor. When I heard it, I was like, ah! My mind blew up, and when it pieced it back together, I wrote it down because it was gold, and it is gold. We share our stories so you can change yours. Say that to somebody. It's brilliant. We share our stories so you can change yours. It's gold. We share our stories so you can change yours. Look, use a three-way call immediately. You get asked a question, especially if you're brand new. Immediately, get someone on the phone. Text the person, text your upline, text the person that sponsored you, text 2 or 3 people that are having success in the business. They are experts. And what you want to do is you simply want to get them on the line, and you want them to share their stories. The way we do that, again, it's a three-way call, and you must edify, you must build the credibility for your expert. If you don't build the credibility for your expert, then your expert is just another person, a nameless whomever, to your friend. So your friend trusts you. You have rapport with your friend. If you do not edify, well, as you edify or speak well of, build up your expert, now your friend trusts your expert because your expert has the credibility and the results. Facts tell, stories sell. Your expert will share their story. So match the three-way with your guest, text the three-way leader ahead of time so they're ready for it, and then anything but a yes, move into that three-way call. And that anything but a yes, meaning if you say, are you ready to get started? And they go, nope, I have a question. They say, fantastic. Say, hang on a second. Hold on, give me 1 minute. Three-way call, edify the speaker. Hey, listen, I want to get my good friend, Dr. Pat Bernard. She is an expert in this industry. I'm telling you right now, she's been on, I don't even know how many dream trips, but she's a global traveler. She's one of the nicest people you will ever meet. She is razor sharp. Her time is very, very valuable, and she's hit a high level of achievement in this company, so we cannot waste her time, but it is a huge deal that we got her on the line. Pat, Dr. Pat, can you just please, I just want to please speak to my good friend Nate. You always edify your expert far more than you edify your friend. And then at that point, put duct tape on your mouth. Don't speak unless you are spoken to. Literally. Don't ask a question. Don't interrupt. And that's it. And at the end, just ask, are you ready to get started? So follow up with tools and events. Never leave empty-handed. I'm just going to zip through this because I want to bring a couple people on, and everyone's really hear what you want to hear from Wayne Nugent. But listen, don't take things personally, everybody. Check your emotions at the door. Your emotions have, like your feelings have no business in this. No business. If you get caught up in your feelings, you're missing out on the whole point of this, which is helping other people. At travel parties, always hand out apps after the presenter finishes, or just turn right to your friend and say, hey, it's awesome, ready to get started. The team will help close people as well. You don't need to do it by yourself. Quick couple things before I jump into momentum. I actually want to bring on another good friend of mine. I want you to hear from somebody who's also having a high level of success in the business. His story is phenomenal. And what I love about this guy is that he's got a pretty significant background in business. He's in the Seattle, Washington area. He's somebody that I have a lot of respect for. He's very, very successful in real estate. He's been a restaurateur. I mean, he's done a lot of great things. But one of the cool things about Greg Boyko is this. He's, again, regional marketing director. This is the guy you're going to see walk the stage again this year or in 2019. He is a solid trainer. When I say solid, I mean airtight. The dude is legit. So Dr. Greg Boyko. You're not a doctor. How you doing?
Doing fantastic. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, loud and clear, brother. Hey, man, I appreciate you taking the time to be on. Can you just take just literally, 15, 20 seconds, just give people a brief background about your story and how you got started?
Perfect. Hey, everybody. Greg Boyko, Seattle area, 38 years young. Basically saw this idea 10 years ago when I was 28 years old. At that point in my life, I was very successful as a kid, if you will. Went to a University of Washington, got a couple degrees, realized I just wanted more out of life. Had been working full-time for many years and just started some businesses. So 10 years ago when I saw World Ventures, I just came off my best month in business. I was doing a lot of real estate. I made $152,000 that month. As a 28-year-old kid, basically that's really how it got started. Took a look at the information and it just made sense. So where I was on a phase in my life where I was trying to accumulate stuff, I was kind of on the downside where I didn't want to accumulate anything anymore. I just wanted my time back. So I was looking for how do I get time and money? And this just kind of fit the mold and a lot of other things I was looking at when it comes to investing in companies. So I just trusted my friend. I got started. It made sense. It's very inexpensive compared to traditional businesses. And I think the saving grace was I went to a training. I went to a training very quickly. I saw big picture. I met people like Martin Ruof and Dave Uloa and some of the other names you've heard mentioned on today's call. And I got excited. I got excited because I knew if it could happen for them, it could happen for me. And then it was what I was looking for. As a matter of fact, it's what everybody's looking for. More time, more money, more friends, more family. So cool. I guess you can say the rest is history.
Awesome. So Greg, you have a very extensive background in business. Just sort of looking at this, what would you say have been some of the factors for World Ventures' phenomenal success, during the past 13 years?
I'd say the first 13-year run was like a dating phase. I like to call businesses, it's a dating phase. World Ventures from the corporate levels, trying to see where they kind of fit in the marketplace with travel and with network marketing. And then from a dating phase from the rep standpoint, where we're trying to figure out our relationship with the company and also how to deliver the product to the marketplace. So the number one thing I'd say that's an absolute deal breaker in any company and why they have success is leadership. Companies rise and fall based on leadership. And it's been, spoken from stage from day one from Wayne Nugent, our founder, who you're going to hear from in a minute, that same exact thing. We got to have tight leadership. And our director of training, Mark Cassetta, has put in a training program, which we're all a part of, that is designed to create a leadership factory. So leadership, I'd say, is primarily the number one key to success from the company level for the first 13 years. And then I would say, it's got to be coupled with a couple other things. You got to have faith. Okay, there's a lot of companies out there. There's companies like Kickstarter that create companies where there's a good idea and they give financial backing. But if you don't have leadership, you don't have faith, and you don't have resiliency or grit, you're not going to make it. So I think it's more of a recipe between leadership, faith, and grit, resiliency, just having the get-go to go after it. From a corporate standpoint, and then from a rep standpoint, I look at why people don't have success in network marketing and companies don't have success. And there's really three reasons. And the first reason is, it's kind of the company's fault where they're trying to change a consumer's buying habit. So most network marketing companies do that. Don't buy your makeup or skincare from Walmart or Nordstrom, buy it from the lady in the pink Cadillac. So immediately by changing a buying habit in business, you're going to create friction. Okay. And then the second problem is in network marketing where a lot of people don't have success is basically there's a big learning curve. You got to learn the nutritional value of this root or this berry or the, anti-aging exfoliation process and all these crazy things. So those first two hurdles, I call them, World Ventures doesn't have. So therefore, they're going to have more success because we're not changing buying habits. People book travel online. We allow them to continue to do that. We're not trying to educate the masses on travel. You know how to pack a suitcase. You know how to drink a margarita poolside. And then really the last hurdle where, network marketing doesn't have success is a lot of people don't know you're in business. There's not visible results. If I chug a bottle of this miracle potion, do I lose 50 pounds on the spot? No. Okay, but with World Ventures, there's visible success. Okay, when you're on the beach, when you're, hanging out at the pool, when you're, skiing or whatever vacation you're on, there's visible, immediate success that people can see. And then therefore, okay, people know you're in business because they're asking you about it, you're talking about it. whereas you're a little gun shy in a lot of other companies that talk about toilet paper or some of the other products. So success, Martin, has all got to do with the company built. They got the right people in place. They got the end in mind, long term, and we got something that's very simple that the masses can do.
Okay, good. Well, there you have it. So in a very, very briefly, and I think you really just touched on it, actually. I think you just answered it, but why are you excited about 2019 with World Ventures?
2019 is the year, and here's why. Well, in less than 72 hours, we've got a new year. And the top on everybody's New Year's vision is a bucket list. People want to travel more. They want to make more money. Okay. So, and then they also want to, get in better shape and have more sex. Those are the top 4 New Year's resolutions every year. We provide the travel. We figure out the other 2. So I'm excited as everybody's looking for what we have to offer. Secondly, I'm excited because of where we're positioned. We just went through a repositioning, and we're going on an all-out global expansion assault, if you will. So in network marketing last year, in 2017, there was $189 billion in global MLM sales. So I'm going to give you some numbers. I apologize for the ones that want the facts. The greens Martin was referring to. You're going to have a green-gasm, so just hang tight. 189 billion in MLM sales, okay? In the 6 markets we're going into right now that we just started, France, Mexico, China, Korea, Brazil, and Japan. In those 6 markets of the global 189 billion in sales, they amass to 89 billion of it. So think about that. That is a 47% of the entire marketplace we're going into. So whereas World Ventures in the first 13 years, okay, we grew, you guys have seen the slide, we grew 927%. We did all this growth in the first 13 years, okay, but we did that on 35 countries, okay, and on 35 countries that only do about 25 billion. So my point is the 6 countries we're going into do 3.5 times what we've already been in. And if there's 6 countries instead of 35, you can focus more time and more energy in one place instead of being so spread out. So my point is we're going into a massive, massive area. So so of the top 22 markets in network marketing, okay, we have 14 of them in the pipe. That means we're coming. That's over $105 billion of the total 189 billion marketplace that World Ventures has not been in yet. So if we've grown 927% and we went through this business dating phase where we were figuring stuff out and we were repositioning and we did all of this and we had all this crazy success at 927% growth, what does that look like when you actually go into the places where businesses actually grow? Okay. And that's where I get excited. Because if you need the number, okay, just the top 6 markets we're going into, that's 3.6 times greater network marketing volume, all right, than the previous 35 markets together. So if we grew 927% in the 35 markets, and the 6 we're going into are 3.6 times greater, and we did the exact same thing, instead of 927% growth in the next couple of years, we're going to be at 3,337% growth. So if you're brand new, if you're old, I don't care who you are, you got to be excited because basically we've been playing in the small pool and we've been killing it. Now we're going to play in the big pool with the big fish where the top money earners show up. So anything that you've heard of as far as momentum, speed, growth, no. You haven't seen momentum. You haven't seen speed. You haven't seen growth. So it's coming. That's why I'm excited. I'm more excited of the leadership that we have in this company, the people on this call, because here's what I know. When the top people are super excited and they're engaging at a high level, what do they see that I don't? Okay. So they see something that I don't. So if you don't understand what I said, you don't understand numbers, totally cool. Don't worry about it. Just understand that people are going to start moving faster and you want to grab on their coattail and hang on, baby.
Rock and roll. Greg, thank you, man. I appreciate your time. Awesome. You always bring a great business acumen and a business sense to it. So thank you so much. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to, I'm going to bring on our guest of honor. I want to do one thing. I really, really, really want to introduce just one more person before I do. We're going to do this very, very quickly because I want Wayne to be able to share with you what he's got, his vision and what he sees, and I can see him right there. Before I do, I want to really quickly, Wayne, I want to bring on Julian Bernard because Julian is actually in, yeah, there he is. Cool. He's in Brazil right now. If you don't know who Julian is, National Marketing Director, literally one of the coolest guys you'll meet, like a rock star. And I'm telling you, from a business, this guy is an all-out beast. He's a rock star. The dude is fearless. He is tremendous amount of fun. And what I love about Julian is he's a product of the product. So, Julian, how are you this afternoon?
Doing awesome. How you doing, Martin?
I'm doing great. Listen, buddy, we got like just a couple quick minutes. I hate to cut it short with you, but I've been kind of we've been running a little bit long, and I want to get to Wayne, but I really, really wanted to have you share just a little bit about your story, and you bring something to this that I think everybody has to grasp, and I'll get to that in a minute. But just briefly, how'd you get started with this? What were you doing before?
Prior to this, I was in the middle of the mall selling cell phones. I was working in a kiosk as a manager for T-Mobile, and my job was basically to stop random people walking through the middle of the mall and convince them into buying a cell phone when they had no intentions of buying one in the first place. So I was working there, doing that like 6 days a week, working every weekend, like 60, 70-hour work weeks at the time.
Okay. Now, here's the thing. Okay, it's interesting because very successful people teach in this business. They teach that you got to be a product of the product. You've done a lot of trips. I mean, you have the best Instagram game I think I've ever seen. It's just brilliant. But one of the things that you do is you just travel and you get out there. Like right now, you're in Brazil. So why would you say like it's important? Basically, why do you believe that using the product is so important to success?
Well, at the end of the day, we're in a travel club, right? So if we're in a travel club, you want to definitely use the product that we offer. And what it does is, first of all, it takes your belief to a whole different level. I remember the first dream trip I went on, it was a $69 cruise. I mean, it was ridiculous. And it just took my belief level from here to here. Now, some people feel like they have to take a dream trip before they can even start sharing the membership. And that's the wrong way to think because, I mean, I didn't even take a trip until after I was a director in the company. Not saying that's what you need to do, but you can cast vision. You can show so many other people that are traveling already. So you don't need to have that in order to get other people to become a part of the club because thousands of people are traveling around the world with this membership, millions, right? So, but it takes your belief level to a totally different level, right? People start seeing you traveling. They start seeing you get out there. So at that point, they can't question whether it's real or not.
Yeah, perfect. All right, good. Now, also, I know that you're somebody that's in very high demand. There's people, people want to be able to, people just want to be able to get around you as much as they can, but you only have so much time. So how do you choose and identify the right people for you to spend time with?
Well, I'll say there's probably three characteristics I can narrow it down to. Number one for me is hunger, right? I'm looking for the people whose eyes light up and that they're hungry. And really, my job is to get somebody signed up, get them to a training, and then I look to see if their eyes light up after that training. If their eyes light up, I know that's the person who I really need to work with. But like, you can't teach hunger. I'll say this all the time. My job isn't to motivate you. I'm looking for people who are motivated, and those are the people that I work with, right? So definitely hunger is number one. Coachability. You got to be, I heard Wayne Nugent, our founder say this a million times. You need to just be a pleasure for me to work with. You got to be coachable. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. That's why a reason why I was able to move pretty fast with this was, I was just too dumb to make this hard. And I was willing to listen to the people who had what I wanted. So don't, give the person that's trying to take you, change your life a hard time. Be a pleasure for them to work with. And number three, credibility with your contacts, right? If you have credibility with your contacts, you can definitely move faster than somebody who doesn't. But I'll take, hunger and coachability over credibility with your contacts if they don't have the other two any day.
Right on it. Okay, legit. Awesome. Now I got one more question for you.
Mhm.
And you have really have mastered this for sure. How do you get a brand new person started? If there's two things that you do just to lock and load with them and get them to be successful right away, what are those two things?
The very first thing that I do is I drill in their head not to explain this idea to their family members or their friends, because that's the number one thing that new people do. They go, they leave, they're super excited, and they try to verbally, vomit all over them and explain the
Yep.
entire process. They try to explain the movie to their family members or their friends, and then what happens is they get a negative response. That person tells them it's a scam. They tell them it's this, it's that, or oh, it's a timeshare deal. And they get discouraged, and now they don't want to actually see, they don't want to even look at the information you're trying to share with them. And then you start thinking that this deal doesn't work, and then, you want to quit. So the number one reason why people quit is because their feelings get hurt. And the number one reason why their feelings get hurt is because they go and try to explain the movie versus getting that person to get them to see the movie the way that you were able to see it, right? So that's the number one thing I drill in their head. The next thing is I help them do their top 20 name list, and I ask them a series of questions to help them do that list. I ask them who are the people closest to them. If it was 3 a.m, you had a flat tire, who would you call if you needed $300 to get out of that bind? And then I asked them who would call them. And I asked them who's some people that you want to travel the world with, who's some people you want to open a business with. And I help them create that list. And then the next thing is I want to score in 24. I want to get that person, a new person, as soon as possible, because reps are most excited in the first 24 to 48 hours of joining.
Awesome. There you have it, everybody. Listen to me. If you were just able to take, just some of the nuggets that everyone has just shared, I'm telling you right now, hopefully you do it and you just take action. This is a simple, simple business. And the thing that I love is that Julian literally right now is in Brazil having a great time, and he's building the business. While in Brazil, he's also getting paid, he's earning residual income, and he's having fun helping other people. To me, that's it. It's the quintessential lifestyle. It's just brilliant. So, Julian, man, thank you for your leadership. I love you, brother. Thank you so much for everything that you do.
Thank you, brother. Have a good one.
All right. All right, everybody. There on the screen, you can see we've got a couple webinars coming up tomorrow night. Myself and Max Laura are going to be doing one. And then on Tuesday, no webinar New Year's Eve. Then Tuesday, we're back at it. I'll be doing the webinar. We got special guests tomorrow and on Monday or Tuesday. Now, I am done talking. The man of the hour, Wayne, brother, thank you so much for taking as much time, Superman, as much time as you have to be on this. And to each of you that are on the line, thank you for extending your time. Do understand this is being recorded, okay? So we're all good to go. I've gotten a couple texts about this. But I hope you've gotten value out of this webinar. But if you haven't gotten anything, you're about to get it now. The entire reason that any of us are here right now is because of the gentleman you're about to hear from. Were it not for this individual, were not for this gentleman, I have no idea where my life would be. I think I'd probably still be waiting tables and not living a very happy life. I would not be living on purpose. And I think it's safe to say that virtually everyone that you've heard from today, and many of the people that are on this line right now, you would agree with me. Wayne Nugent, I call him the Steve Jobs of travel and network marketing. I'm telling you right now, I don't know anybody that knows more about travel than this individual. And I mean that genuinely. This dude, sorry, Wayne, this guy, this gentleman is a visionary. I knew it the minute I met him, because as soon as he opened his mouth and started talking, I started seeing the possibilities for my life. That is what a visionary can do. They speak life into you, and they help you see the greater possibilities for yourself and other people. He is truly one of the funnest people, probably the funnest person you'll ever hang out with. He's profoundly successful, and he is a master network marketer. He is the founder of World Ventures. He is the chief visionary officer. He is a phenomenal father, a great husband, and a great friend. And I'm telling you right now, I will follow this man anywhere. and everywhere. Hands down. Mr. Wayne Nugent, thank you so much for being on the line.
All right, Martin. Yes, absolutely. Martin Ruof, my dear friend. And, you know, I remember when Martin and I first met, for those of you who weren't here, you know, over 13 years ago. You know, I flew out to Dallas, Texas, where I live, to Los Angeles to do a meeting, and Martin, you know, was at that place in his life. Julie was talking about, he was humble, and he was hungry, and he was willing to hustle. And so after I did this presentation with just, you know, a lot of humility, Martin comes up after the meeting and says, you know, hey, I liked your presentation, everything you shared. Can I, you know, you mind, can I carry that for you out to the car? And he walks me out to the car, and he says, you know, do you have a, you know, are you in town tomorrow? Can I meet up with you and all this? And I was like, no, I fly out tomorrow morning. He says, well, do you have a ride to the airport? Can I come pick you up and take you to the airport? I said, okay. So he's calling from the lobby the next morning saying, okay, I'm here early downstairs. Can you come down a little early? I'm like, okay. So I go downstairs, and he's ready with a microphone and a video camera. And he says, can I record you, you know, doing that presentation you did last night? And I'm like, okay. So we got by the hotel swimming pool on the lounge chair, set up a laptop, you know, open up my laptop, go through my presentation slides with a video camera, and he put a microphone on me, he's recording me. Next thing I know, he's getting upwards of 80 grand a month or so, moving into Tina Turner's old house in the Hollywood Hills, then buys Shaquille O'Neal's S-Class Mercedes, you know, this badass, beautiful S63 or S65, beautiful Mercedes. And then I remember, you know, we go out to Pirates Cove together in Vegas. That was a lot of fun. But, you know, for Martin and I, it's been this lifetime, you know, of memories. I mean, really, like, in a way, you know, you do anything, you put in your 10,000 hours, you put in 10 years in anything, you know, you should be great at it. You put in 15, 20 years, you're going to be excellent. You know, you put in 30, 40 years. I mean, you got, you know, you're a master. You should be, you know, legendary and iconic. But, you know, the idea is to learn faster. I think it happens in the real world, that there's this career path, you know, that takes a 40-year plan. Here, what I saw is it could be a 2, 3, 4, 5-year plan. Amway has done an incredible job of getting people in the business, locked in and thinking with a 5-year plan. Don't look left, don't look right, 5-year plan, that's what it takes. And Amway has mastered that. I was going door to door after I came out of the Marine Corps, and I was going door to door. This is after Desert Storm and everything. And, you know, I got the mindset of a Marine, you know, one shot, one kill, strike first, strike hard, hesitation causes death, you know, improvise, adapt, and overcome, you know, teamwork will get you. So, you know, I got all these things in my head about how to go about life and succeed at life and being competitive and being driven. And, but the companies I worked for didn't want to promote me, but I was going door to door selling cable TV. It's the only like job I could get, you know, sales job. I didn't have any experience. I didn't go to college. I didn't even get a degree. It didn't matter that I'd been in the military, you know, during time of war, and was trusted, you know, as a, you know, non-commissioned officer to lead other Marines and all this. And it didn't matter. I was number 1, in fact, at the company I worked for, and leading teams around the country. It didn't matter. You know, I didn't have the credentials, so they weren't going to promote me. And that just didn't seem right. That didn't seem fair. So, you know, I quit. They lose a good guy like me. There was a second job I had where I was going I was working for this publishing company out of Chicago, one of the biggest out there, Connors. And and I was going to businesses. And I was #1 in the nation. They couldn't believe it. They sent a guy out from Chicago to come follow me around Dallas and just to shadow me for a week or two and just go see what this guy's doing, because he's blowing every other salesperson in the nation away. Go see what he's doing. And at the end of it, the guy says to me, man, if you were organized, you'd be dangerous. You know. But I actually got fired from that job because they wanted me to drive from the outskirts of Dallas to downtown Dallas every morning, you know, for a sales meeting. And I didn't want to do it. You know, I mean, I wanted to wake up and go to work. I didn't need a babysitter. You know, I didn't need somebody to motivate me. I was self-motivated. That's what I'm going to ask you to do this year. You know, learn how to become self-motivated. So I think that the way that you learn to become self-motivated to achieve your goals is to be inspired. So who inspires you? What inspires you? You know, what's the vision you can see for yourself? Now's the appropriate time to do that going into 2019. And that's what started the company, because, you know, I got inspired. I wasn't getting promoted at these jobs. The last one I got fired from because I didn't want to play by the corporate rules. And so for anybody who has that safe, secure job or the corporate, hey, you know, good for you. You know what I'm saying? But in life, there's choices. And you can choose to stay there with all its limitations and security, or you can choose to take a risk on yourself and see what you're worth on your own in the marketplace. And if you want to make more money, bring more to the marketplace. And what I do, I have a hard time doing any kind of webinar like this to talk to you without, you know, putting a stack of books, you know, in front of me. I mean, it's just, you know, it's like, what am I thinking? You know, I can't pick one, you know, but I'm constantly, you know, feeding my mind, because your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. And so, you know, garbage in, garbage out. And I know that my net worth is directly proportionate to my network. And so there's skills around how to go build a network. Number one of which, you know, is be likable, you know.
Only Wayne Nugent can turn his back on a webinar and everybody's still like, oh, wow.
And I'm looking for my, oh, here we go. If you haven't read How to Win Friends and Influence People by now, you know, shame on you. When I was in the Marine Corps, I mean, I was stationed at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. And I had a buddy of mine in the Marine Corps that wrestled, and one of his buddies was wrestling for NC State, North Carolina, in Raleigh. And we'd go out there. I'd stay at this guy's house. And this guy wasn't like the most handsome and attractive guy, but man, this guy had the gift of gab. And we'd go out, and man, he would get the prettiest girls, man. And but you know, he'd read this book, and it's so funny. But there's just so much truth in it about life that you got to learn how to, you know, communicate. You know, this is one of the best books ever written that you got to read in life. You know, my favorite book, As a Man Thinketh, by James Allen. But you got to read How to Win Friends and Influence People and Think and Grow Rich. Those are just basic. Here in front of me, I got other ones. But if you'll do this, you know, you can go on to succeed. And I did that. I joined a network marketing company because I was hitting the upper limits, you know, in corporate America. And I didn't like that feeling. And I know that there's a lot of people out there like me. I think the world, you know, is really breeding our prospects for us, especially with social and digital the way that it is now, that we can get on the internet and live vicariously through other people. We can see the life that they're having. And we start going, well, what about me? You know, and we're so busy consuming their life, you know, we're not creating our own. And what I want to try and do with you and your help is set more people free, that we're the ones helping to create each other's lives, a better life with each other. And we're going to expand our network now with the tools, you know, between smartphones. Be smart with your smartphone. You know, should you work hard like you've been taught your whole life? Yes. Should you work smart? Yes. And should you work long? You know, yeah, for a season. Don't get burned out, but yeah, for a season. Work hard, work smart, work long. When you find something good like World Ventures, yeah, you got to go in on it. But why is World Ventures good? Why is World Ventures so good and so unique? Because, you know, it was started on purpose, you know, with purpose. And I'm just telling you what I went through in life that motivated me to start this kind of a company. And it was always meant to be a company that serves you, you know, and serves other people. And I'm going to train you, you know, how to be a good, you know, servant leader. Because again, if you want more from the world, provide more to the world. In order for you to really kind of provide to the world, you gotta be a creator, and you gotta have people to co-create with. If you want people to co-create with you, you gotta be likable. How to win friends and influence people. So, you know, there's Think and Grow Rich. There's the magic of thinking big. There's As a Man Thinketh. What do all these books have in common? So what should you be doing going into this year, this new year? Think. Get alone, be by yourself, close your eyes, you know, get where you can think and start thinking about your future. But you got to be able to put aside all the limitations. You know, why aren't you thinking big? The problem most people have is that they're not thinking at all. And then if they do think, they're not thinking big enough. And so that would be the first thing I would encourage you to do. Because in our company, in a business like ours, you build people and then people build the business. So we're trying to find people that want mentorship to be built up. So Martin has become a phenomenal, you know, leader, a phenomenal general. Okay. But as we grow, you know, I've spent, you know, a lot of good time, quality time, I should say, with Hadiatu and Julian and Keith Willis and Greg, Mike, Marriage. I mean, when you get to this level and you have this, first you're just growing on your own, trying to have some extreme accountability, you know, extreme ownership, accountability. But as you grow and grow as a leader and build a team, you go through different mental and emotional stuff. So me as a leader, me as a rep, me as an owner, you know, I've always got to grow, and we're going through different kind of lessons. So I don't know where you're at right now on the path. We're just happy that of all paths in the world that you could have chosen, you chose this one. Once you get on this path, you realize it's a great company being led by great people with great intentions. We have great field leaders, generals, that are looking to raise you up. What more are you looking for? So are we perfect? No. Did we ever say we were or we ever would be? No. But we want to be, we care to be, we strive to be. we miss the mark, and a lot of times we hit excellence. I've never been a part of a better company. I don't know of a better company. And I'm trying to be very objective about that, you know, that I know there's a lot of different companies out there, different jobs, different careers. There are, and on the internet nowadays, you can see a lot of talented people that have got mastery, you know, at playing the guitar or sports or other things. All that's a language, and it takes practice and repetition and building skills. You know, it requires focus on one thing, you know, and build healthy habits, you know, and it's really about consistency. So, you know, that's why I say get good at something worth getting good at. This is worth getting good at. You know, this is something you can do for the rest of your life, and then pass it on to your kids. And that's what this is meant to be. This company is meant to be a legacy company. I mean, I'm telling you from the very beginning, you know, I'm thinking about a company that's going to outlive me. And again, because who inspired me? And I look at, you know, great companies are being led by great people that have, you know, since passed, and the companies go on without them and things like that. So I'm thinking generational wealth. And behind the scenes, that's my primary job, you know, is setting up the company to where it can outlive me. And I've got great leaders and great generals that have been built that we love the company more than we love ourselves. And we're willing to play team and say, how are we going to carry this company into the future? And so that's why I have so much appreciation for all my years with Martin, you know, and still being in the trenches and leading the way that he is with you right now. And he mentioned Dave and Yvette Uloa, but to see the new leadership like Hadiatu, you know, and she's saying, you know, look, you know, I came on and I was teachable. You know, Mike, you know, pay attention, get excited, never quit. You know, these things get beat into our heads. You know, Greg and his experience, you know, in the military and taking, just like I did, taking that military training and reapplying it, you know, here. You know, Keith with the way he was raised in sports. But let's say that you didn't grow up with an entrepreneurial family, you know, like my dad was, or going to church, you know, regularly, and having those spiritual values instilled while you were young that I think, you know, relate to business and doing business properly, or sports, or, you know, what is it for you, an area of your life that you've excelled in the past, and how do you apply that here now? But I, as the chief visionary officer, as the founder, you know, I expect you to succeed. I expect us to succeed. I already see 2 and 3 billion right within our grasp. And then I expect that you run up to 5 billion and all, you start making some serious news along the way there. And then all of a sudden, because of the size of our industry, the different things that we've got in the works and planning and infrastructure we're building, do I see past 10 billion and us becoming number one in the entire industry? Yeah. So we've already proven ourselves to be, you know, one of the biggest companies in the entire industry selling anything, but the only travel company. We've already achieved the fastest growth rate of any company in the entire industry. We pulled back for a little bit. We learned some lessons. We hired some people. We built some infrastructure around the world. And now we're growing faster than we ever have before. And probably right now growing faster than any other company in the entire industry selling anything. So that's where we're at right now. And that's because of the people that are awake and plugged in and taking advantage of these promotions that we put together, you know, behind the scenes, because we have years and years of data, years and years of information that we can digest and you know, and dial and learn from and dial things in, and we can constantly improve. You know, when I did work for companies, they would put me on these teams called, Kaizen, what Tony Robbins would call Kanai, constant and never-ending improvement, Deming philosophies, Kaizen, Japanese for continuous improvement. As a company, we want to do that. As an individual, you want to do that. Every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. Every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. And that's really what I care about, is that when you join our company, you're plugging into a company that by design, we're caring about you in every aspect of your being. We're caring about you spiritually, and I'll tell you why in a minute, spiritually, physically, emotionally, intellectually, and financially. Not caring about you religiously, but caring about you spiritually. Do I care that you're taking time out and going within and tapping that internal truth, and taking time to do this reflection, this contemplation, and yes, I think that's where character is built. And character is important because you're either in a storm or you're going to be in a storm in the future. Storms come and they go. The question is, who are you in a storm? And it's during these times of reflection that you build, your character. So we care about that, because if you're becoming a part of the foundation of this company, the fact that you're on a webinar like this after this much time on a Saturday, it really says a lot about you, that you're awake, that you're plugged in, that you're hungry, but you're being humble, you're teachable. Above all things, pray for wisdom. In order to gain wisdom, you have to have humility. You got to be teachable. And so it says a lot about you, that you're following the leader. And that's how it works. The best followers become the best leaders. The best students become the best teachers. And you can't give what you don't have. So right now, you're getting more and more information about me individually, about the company, about your leadership, about the promotions that we're running. But you're actively engaged. And this is obviously a priority in your life. And that's what it is. You're going to hear one of the biggest objections out there is, I don't have the time. And it's never about time. It's about priority. We all have 24 hours in a day. It's what you choose to do with your time. And what you're choosing to do with your time today is be here with us. And that says a lot about you. And, I've been doing this, 25 years, and I'm still plugged in. I still work every day. I still show up every day with a lot of humility, and I'm teachable. And, the people that I inspired, that were became self-motivated, they went out there and succeeded and achieved. We got people hitting triple IMD now. We're popping IMDs all over the world. Iron sharpens iron. We have our PAC team. We have our international leadership team. And you know what? We collaborate and we co-create this company. And so we want you to be a part of that. As when you have a company with leadership on the rise, then your company is on the rise. And that's what we're trying to do, is invest in you, build you into a leader that makes our entire company grow. But we want your success to be, sustainable success. So that's why we're caring about the well-being of your whole being, so that as you succeed, you're not going to be a one-hit wonder. You're not going to be a flash in the pan. You're going to learn to run your business like a business. Pay your taxes, reinvest in your business. Run your own promotions through your own organization. Do your own trainings like this. So at first it's okay for you to be the student and to absorb, but every time right now when you're learning and absorbing, it's because one day you're going to be the teacher. And so you start listening at a different level, and that's how you learn the most. You don't learn necessarily the most by reading it out of a book or by doing it. Really, the way you learn the deepest is by teaching it. So should you plug into a webinar like this and get training, and read books like this and get training? Absolutely. But then, and should you go apply what you learned? Absolutely. But you got to be thinking about it also, thinking past that, about that one day you're going to be teaching this. And so as you're doing it, you're more intentional about it, doing the job and doing the job the right way, because you don't get paid for doing the job. You get paid for doing the job the right way and producing the right results. Then once you've proven that you can do that, then you become the teacher. And we want more teachers. So we had a lot of fun, you know, and made a lot of money running up to $1 billion in revenue, you know, but it took us about 10 years or so to get there. What I believe is going to happen is we're going to run to 2 and 3 billion in the next 2 to 3 years. That's going to be a heck of a ride. That's going to be a ride nobody wants to miss. It's going to be pretty epic. And it's really about the lifestyle that we create along the way, the memories we create along the way, the leaders and trainers we build along the way, the giving back that we do along the way. We want you to succeed big, because then we believe you'll give back big. And so then I said I was going to come back to the spiritual side. I can't sell anything I don't believe in. Now, I don't believe there is necessarily a perfect company or a perfect product, but I'm looking for the one that I believe is best, that I can believe in the most. And products are needed. Services are needed. I think that there is a need for our product in the marketplace. I believe there is a need for our opportunity in the marketplace. When I compare it side by side, which is natural to do I personally think it's the best? Absolutely. And if not the best, then the top 10 or the top 100. But yes, but out of the millions of companies and businesses out there, do I think that World Ventures is special, unique, exceptional? Absolutely. Do I feel like I'm blessed to be a part of it, and that you're blessed to be a part of it? Absolutely. So it's a blessing, and we're meant to use it, maximize it, and then go be a blessing, especially into this new year. That to me is energizing. I'm not driven by some like money goal or something. Okay, the thing that I want is this company to be the best it can be for you. That's the thing I want. That's what I want more than anything. I want this thing to be the best it can be. Our company, our product, to be the best it can be, and it outlive me, and it just feeds you and your family, you know, into the future. And that we're providing value, you know, to the world and succeeding and giving back. I mean, and that's what we're doing. We have a history of doing that, a track record of doing it. That's our desire. That's our intention. That's what's working. That's what I'm proud to be a part of. I can wake up every day excited, you know, to do that, to go create more fun in people's lives, create more fulfillment in people's lives, create more freedom in people's lives. And that's really how I like to present this. I like to ask people, look, be honest with me. You know, let's cut to the chase. You know, be honest with me. Do you want more fun in your life? Yes or no? You want more freedom in your life? Yes or no? You want more fulfillment in your life? Yes or no? Okay, well, let me show you this. I don't know if you'd be interested or not, but let me show it to you, because this company was designed from day one, you know, with that in mind. That's our, you know, why. And so Martin has been an absolute pleasure for me to work with. Greg, my golfing buddy, and over here at my house and mine. I mean, Hadiatu, Julie. I mean, I'm so proud of y'all. Keith, when I saw him doing his thing, man, he's spot on. I noticed when I go listen to Julian just do his training, and I've seen Keith, you know, do his, and every time, everybody's spot on. Everybody's saying the same thing in their own way. You're bringing your flavor to it, your spice, okay? But the truth is the truth. The truth doesn't change. Every leader I see out there, they have the same mindset, they have the same philosophy. A lot of times they're using a lot of the same languaging, but you're bringing your own personal, flavor to it. So you have that in you. What people don't realize, is the greatness that they do have inside them. But they've never had somebody come along and take them by the hand and partner with them and walk the path and bring that out of them. And that's what I've been good at, is I believe in myself, but that's only because I believe in God first. When you believe in God, then you will believe in yourself. And then when you believe in yourself and God, then you will believe in other people. And you do have to believe in other people to be able to pull the best out of them. And that's what I love most about this industry. As much as this industry gets, challenged and look, scoffed at a bit, I don't care. I don't care, because I know the truth. I know the way I go about building it. I know the way I train people to build it is, let's go out there and help people. I mean, I can't help but recruit into the industry of network marketing. I cannot help but recruit people into World Ventures because I know it's the best company in network marketing for the ultimate lifestyle. Because if I recruit you into network marketing and you succeed in another company selling another product and you get to the top of the food chain, I know what's going to happen to you when you get to the top of the mountain in another company. You're going to wish that you would have climbed this mountain. Because on top of this mountain, it's a lot more fun. Nobody gets to the top of this mountain wants to climb down and go climb another mountain. You get to the top of this mountain, it's a good party. Everybody's having a good time. And that's what World Ventures is. When you get to IMD and World Ventures, you don't want to quit and go do something else. People go double IMD and triple IMD and quadruple IMD. So yes, it's hardest in the beginning. You got one first day, one first week, one first month, one first year. Make it good. What I recommend you do after a webinar like this, with every new promotion, go to the next event, go to Momentum. Every time, what you got to do is hit reset. And you got to act like it's day number 1 again, week number 1 again, month number 1 again. And that's what we're doing right now in 2009, or going into 2019, is it's about you hitting reset in your life. You're an adult. You take full accountability for your life up to this point. It's what you're going to do. So you found the right thing. Now you got to plug in, and the formula for success is number 1, desire. That's the main question we have for you before we pour into you, before a mentor will take you seriously. Before anybody wants to mentor you, they want to know that you have the desire. If you don't have the desire, you're going to be nothing but a waste of time to a mentor whose time is very valuable. That's their most number 1 commodity. So don't be the type of person that wastes a mentor's time. Are you ready? Do you have the strong desire? Are you the one saying, I'm next, focus on me. I'm not going to let you down. I'm going to learn how to set good appointments. And then that's what we teach you. If you're teachable, then that's what we'll teach you how to go do. And we'll keep our calendar full. It's our job to go out there and talk to people who aren't in this yet, and believe that we're doing them the favor, because this company was designed on purpose, with a purpose, to do good in people's lives. And the more you understand that, and the more you believe in that, the more effective you're going to be. And so congratulations on finding World Ventures. That's the main thing. Now that you found it, we want to congratulate you all along the way of success. But you got these promotions are meant, to help you, wake up and focus at certain times. So going into this holiday season, we've had record growth because we didn't want to slow down during the holidays. So we ran a promotion. And those of you that have been awake and taken advantage of this promotion, you're ranking up faster. You're succeeding faster. So now we have more plans for the future. We have more plans for January and February and March and summertime and next year. That's our job as the company, working with Martin and the PAC team. So we're doing our job for you behind the scenes. If you will just trust your company, if you'll trust your leadership, that we care about you, the brand new person, we're caring about everybody along the ranks. Okay, we're not leaving anybody out. If you'll trust us, okay, even though we're not perfect, we'll go a lot faster. And that's what this book says, the speed of trust. That when you have high trust, you go fast. When you don't trust us, you go slow. We're going to go slow. We're going to go fast without you. But if you're the one, you have to source trust within you. And so that's what I would ask you to do is do you trust the company? Do you trust the product? Do you trust that we're trying to be a good thing in the world? And if you really believe that, because we can answer all those questions, then you're going to go out in the marketplace and be a lot more influential, a lot more effective. And that's where my source of strength comes from, that I know I'm answering to God, that I know I'm trying to build something for the benefit of people. So seek God first, number one. Love God with all thy heart, mind, and soul. But number two, love thy neighbor as thyself. You know, take care of your neighbor. Look to add value to your neighbor. That's really what I'm trying to do here, is be that kind of person and build that kind of company and surround myself with those kind of people. And the people that are rooted in those things, I see succeed and succeed long term. And so that's why I always come back to spirituality. So spiritual, physical, emotional, intellectual, and financial. We want World Ventures to touch every aspect of your being and make your entire quality of life better. And so I just feel, I'm happy that I'm listening, that I'm taking time out and listening and thinking about your future. And I'm grateful that I'm surrounded by people like Martin and other leaders that care about the same thing. So that's what you need to know more than anything is the company is not the building. The company's not me. The company's not, it's us, the people. And you got a bunch of people here that this is the way we think. And this is what we want. And so, again, congratulations to you for finding it. Now make this a big year. Mark it on a calendar, January 1st. Make those New Year's resolutions. Keep this on the front burner of your mind. Don't put it on the back burner. If you'll focus on this for 3 months, this is like P90X for your bank account. You can do P90X for your body and see significant difference. This is like P90X for your bank account, but it's a thing. You have residual bills in life. You need residual income. Once you have that residual income, you're going to be free to travel. You're going to have friends all over the world. You got room to grow. You're going to become a mentor, a coach, an author, all kinds of things. And you can grow as big as you want, as fast as you want. But the main thing is let's get you free first. And you can do that within 3 to 6 months here. And we just want to know who's next. And that's that. So as I say all this, it's all to say, we're waiting on you to raise your hand and say, I'm the one that's hungry and I'm humble so you can teach me. And I promise you, I'm going to be hustling with you. I'm going to run every day with you. And when I find people like that, that's who I pour into. And then that's how I go fast. I go fast because I find people that are willing to go fast with me. And, but we care about, even if you're not going fast, even if you haven't made money yet, you ain't raked up. Hey, we love you. We're proud that you chose us. We're proud that you got step number 1 on the path. Okay. And, we're not looking to leave you behind. We're not looking to leave you in the dust. Okay. We're just waiting for you. We want you to go at your pace, run your race. Okay. Some people are going to come in and succeed faster than you because of their background and all that kind of stuff. Just don't think that we think less of you or we care about you less if you're not succeeding big time. No, that's not true. We love you anyway. That's who we are as people. That's who we are as a company. We love you anyway. It's just, what degree do you want to plug in? And our calendar usually does get filled up with the people that are filling up our calendar. But it does, and then we invite you to plug in with us. But there's no reason that you can't break out, from the pack and say, I want to focus. I'm going to create healthy habits that help me succeed faster. So as long as you go into it thinking, how am I going to apply all this knowledge to this company and this product and this business? Boom. you're going to succeed fast. And you should set a goal that happens within 3 months, that, you know, you're at 1,000 a week, 2,000 a week. That would be that's the way I do it. I always try and get people mentally and emotionally prepared. Let's get you to 1,000 to 2,000 a week in 3 to 6 months. Let's make that our goal. And then I work every day, all day long with a person like that. And I get them free.
Wayne, I apologize for interrupting you. I know we're going to be, dude, I could listen to you all day. I have, and I know many of us have. And I mean, you're just, truly, you're just nonstop wisdom. And unfortunately, we got to wrap this up because our webinar is going to time out, I think, and I don't want to risk that happening. But I want to say a couple of things. You know, we're 2 hours in to this, and you know, we've had nearly 1,000 people still on the line. I mean, now it's, you know, 800 and some odd people still on the line. Like, that's remarkable, everyone. You know, and Wayne, you said it best. It's a testament to each of you and your commitment to what you want in your lives, that you're taking the time out of your busy Saturday to be on here for 2 hours. And Wayne, I love you, brother. Thank you so, so much for everything you've done, everything you do, everything I know you'll continue to do, and just for creating this platform for us. I mean, it's a godsend. It's remarkable. And I know we will all follow you. And I don't know if you can see the chat box, but I mean, your huge props to you are coming out. And just thank you for talking about faith and God, because you're right. It begins and ends and runs through that the whole way. So thank you. And briefly, I just want to share a couple things, and then we'll wrap this up. But you want to hear this next part. You know, I've been looking at the list of the hundreds and hundreds, 1,000 people that have been on this today. And you got to understand, there's brand new people on this, okay? Brand new. People that actually were at travel parties last night, that joined last night, they're on this. And for all of you, understand there's international marketing directors on this line right now. Yes, Hadiatu, brand new international marketing director, she just trained. You know, Keith Willis is on this. He just hit international marketing director. This dude's a beast. And he was sending me a text saying, hey, this is awesome. And I'm Keith, I apologize. I hope I'm not, crossing over a line, but I'm going to read what he wrote. I said, you're on? And he said, of course, # don't miss training. I'm less than 3 years in this industry. I'm still learning. Laugh out loud. That's Keith Willis. IMD. Does he need to be on this? No, he doesn't need to, but he needs to. So if somebody like that, if someone like Pat Bernard, who's a national marketing director, is just, and I'm talking about just like drop the mic legit. She doesn't need the money. She doesn't need to be here, but she's here. That's a big deal. So I just want to, and there's so many people. I know Kirk Budd's on this. I mean, there's so many great people. I don't want to leave anybody's names out, but thank you for your commitment. There's one last thing I want to share, and that's Momentum, January 25th, 26th, and 27th. It's game time, everybody. That is the event of, I believe, the history of our company. And I believe it because what we're doing is launching something that we've never done before. And there's, Wayne, we're doing something extraordinary. Participate, be in it. If this impacted you at all today, this is like a speck compared to what you'll experience at Momentum. And this has been incredible today. Momentum will be mind-blowing. Wayne, I know you're on. Is there anything you wanted to just share about Momentum and why you believe it's important that people would go to that event?
Yep. People make big decisions at big events. That's how I build. Okay. I mean, really, one thing that we haven't done well as a company that we could even do even better at, because we're one of the few companies that has a worldwide event system. We probably have the best leadership development factory of any company right now. And if you don't know that, you might not appreciate it. If you were in a company that didn't have it, you would wish you had it. But the fact that you're in a company that does have it, you know, you should take advantage of it. It costs you money to go. It costs you more money not to go. It costs you time to go. It costs you a lot more time not to go. So even though you're investing some money to go, investing some time to go, that investment comes back. The data proves it out that the people who go to events succeed at a much higher rate. It's night and day different. Okay, there's just no comparison. So if you're on this, you're listening to me right now, you got to go to every event. I mean, use your common sense meter. We're not asking anybody to, you know, hurt yourself in life in some other area of your life. Okay. But you got to make some tough decisions. I remember, you know, when I first trained Jefferson Santos, who has over 1 million people in his downline. Okay. You know, he was living at home with his mom in a 1-bedroom loft apartment where he lived in the upstairs loft. He had this Saturn car with bald tires and the wires are sticking out of the tires. And he asked me, he says, should I buy new tires or should I go to the training? I said, it's up to you. I know what I would do, but it's up to you. He knew, and he knew what I would do. And he went to that training. And now he's got over 1 million. Now he's got a bunch of cars and they all got new tires on them. And so, you know, the Rat Packers, man, I remember when the Rat Packers had to drive, pack a car out and drive and then get into a hotel room and bunk up and sleep in the bathtub. I mean, just bodies everywhere, you know, but they did whatever it takes. And you got to use what you have. And right now you might not have a lot. Okay, well, use what you got, not much. And, but that's what this is designed to do. You know, I wouldn't say, you know, go to the training and then not use the training.
Right.
In fact, while you're at the training and you're surrounded and immersed in that energy, that's when I would be calling people. While I'm on the breaks, I'd be passing the phone to my leaders right here with me and doing I'd be in it, doing 3-way phone calls, passing the phone around, you know, right there when we're all energetically high. And I'm not asking you, I'm telling you, when I get back from this weekend, I'm not asking you if you're going to look at this or not. I'm telling you, you're going to look at it. I don't care if you want to do it or not, but not looking at it is not an option. I'm going to be all up in your grill when I get back. This thing is huge. This is way bigger than me. It's way bigger than the United States. This is a global phenomenon. I would be doing a huge disservice. I'm telling you, as I'm seeing this, as I'm witnessing this, and I'm a part of this, and the energy and everything's going on here, dude, all I can do is think about you. You're with me in spirit, okay? And I'm not going to let that go. When I get home, you're going to see this. And if you say no to it, I don't care. But you're going to know what you're saying no to. You don't you don't get to say no, not interested, and not even know what the hell you're talking about. It's going to be an educated no if you tell me no. And no, just going to be not right now. So that's all you're doing is planting seed for the future. But you got to go and get trained. You got to get that energy. You got to use that energy. And once you're there, what happens is you're like, oh my God, I should have been relentless. I should have been, you know, crazy about this. I mean, getting people there, because that's all, when you get there, that's all that you're going to be thinking about is who's not here with you, that you should have pushed harder. And I'm telling you, when I first had that epiphany over 20 years ago, this is the day that I felt like I retired. Not that I ever have, but I felt like it. Dude, I cannot tell you how hard it was for me to get my friends and my family to this big event after they've been blowing me off and give me the runaround. But I saw this thing blowing up and working, and it was my friends and family blowing me off. Well, finally, I got them to the big event. And as we're at this big event, they're not focused on me anymore. They're focused on the event, on the stage, on everything's going up there. And man, they're in it, man. I can see my mom and my uncle and my sister. And man, they're not looking at down the aisle at me. They're looking at the stage, and man, they're in it. And I could tell that's when they took ownership. So it's easy to get in World Ventures. Okay, you know, you go to the internet, and you put a credit card, put some money in, boom, you're in World Ventures. You need to go to the event and get World Ventures inside of you. But more importantly, you need to get some people there and have World Ventures get into them. So you want to have people there with you, World Ventures get into them, and now you're not going to have to drag them across the finish line. You know, y'all are going to be running hand in hand, making this thing happen, you know, and that's what you need in life. You don't need a bunch of people to help you succeed in this. You need one. You need, in the Marine Corps, it was the buddy system. You know, they sent Bible, sent about 2 by 2. You know, look at the Mormons. I see them on their bikes around the world, 2 by 2. You know, that's what you need. You need one person that is going to run with you in this, that has the desire like you do. And then you add a second one and a third one and all that. And then it's the 80-20 principle, that you're going to have 20% of your people produce 80% of the result. So you need 10 people on your team at least to get the 2 good ones. They're going to have the biggest impact on your business. You can't be thinking about just 2 or 4. Okay? You need at least 10, 12, whatever. And so that's where you're going to go get that experience, that knowledge, that energy, you know, everything. So events are huge. And selfishly, I'm going to do one more thing, Martin. You know, I plan on coming to New York because, as many of you, you know, may know, I am a big fan of Rudy, because I used to watch Rudy every Thursday night with my team. And I said, Rudy's how we got to be as individuals, but remember the Titans is how we got to be as a team. So I love those 2 movies, but Rudy was the one I watched every week with my team. And this is Rudy's actual jersey from when he played football at Notre Dame. This is his helmet from when he played football at Notre Dame. Okay, his real helmet and jersey. Rudy went in the Navy. You know, Jefferson Santos went to the Naval Academy. These are Navy SEALs training you right here. The Marine Corps is a part of the Navy. And then he went on to do Rudy. So, I mean, I'm a big fan because mentally and emotionally what it did for me to draw, you know, to inspire me. Remember I was talking about inspiration. So I'm coming to New York because Rudy, they made a movie about the movie Rudy called The Walk On. Then they got Rudy on Broadway. And this is in February. It happens to be on my birthday. So this is a dream trip, but you can just go to the Broadway, the one night on Broadway for anybody in New York or the East Coast. Keith, you know, I was going to call and invite you personally. And I want a team of there because I blocked out space in this Broadway theater. That's a beautiful theater for us to be with Rudy. Rudy's going to hang out with us, you know, before and afterwards, just World Ventures people. And I thought that'd be a special thing for a dream trip. And it happens to be my birthday. So Marcus Setta's going, Jefferson Santos is going, and we planned on doing kind of like a training. Martin says he's going. And that's what I want to do, is start getting a bunch of leaders, because we want to be there intimately with Rudy, because Rudy loves our company. When you go watch that movie, The Walk On, that was the making of the movie Rudy, the big stagey on is Rudy at a World Ventures event. So I want to make dream trips experiential. And this one, I think when Martin and I went to New York years ago, and we went to Broadway and we saw The Lion King. And man, Martin, I love that dream trip with you. So many great memories. And so anyway, I'm going to shamelessly plug that one because I'm going, Marcus Setta's going, Jefferson's going, Martin's going. We got to do this again, brother. But anyway, I promise you, it's going to be an epic night. I'm telling people, don't plan on flying out till Tuesday afternoon or evening, because we're going to be out late Monday night. You know, a lot of fun. So if you can make it to the dream trip portion, fantastic. If you can only make it that night to Broadway, you can get the tickets, you know, from us. But put that on your calendar now. But yes, so we'll go from Alabama, Momentum, that event, to all of a sudden the next weekend or two after that, we'll be in New York together. great 1-2 punch. So, yeah.
Hey, real quickly, just two quick things. So how do we get tickets? How do people get tickets to it if it's still available?
Yes, they're available. And there was 600. This is a beautiful 600-seat theater. There was only 450 left.
Okay.
But again, by design, this is going to be really intimate. Because I blocked out a pretty good chunk of those. So they're. I'd really get you there as a leader, and then get your people there, because, like I said, this is meant to be a very memorable experience, intimate experience, pictures, videos.
Yeah.
I've seen the results of it afterwards, that it does for people, and it's effective because so many people know this movie, Rudy, but he's a very spiritual, soulful guy, and there's just so much overlap between my life, Jefferson, and Jefferson actually went to school, Naval Academy, with this guy, Lee Babin. Wow. And then you remember Jeremiah Donnell, who was in World Ventures. Yeah. He's traveling the country working with Jocko, doing trainings, as an agent.
I'm sorry. If you've not read that book that Wayne just held up, it's called Extreme Ownership. It is positively brilliant. Buddy Buck, who's the regional marketing director in Seattle, he actually recommended this book to me. I think he sent me the audio, and I'm telling you, I listened to the audio and I bought the book and would overlap. It is hands down extraordinary. Highly recommend that. So, Wayne, dude, and again, by the way, we're still on, and there's still, nearly 800 people on, and this is, again, it's just phenomenal. I want to just briefly, again, thank you, Wayne, Michael Marich, Greg Boyko, Chalk, you all rock, Julian Bernard, Hadiatu. I'm telling you, you just absolutely added so much value to this day. Chrissy Morris, thank you very, very much for leading us off with your awesome energy. And, again, Julian's in Brazil. Brazil. Michael's on his way to Brazil. He's in Florida. You got Greg in Seattle, Chuck's in Detroit, Hadiatu. I think Hadiatu's in Maryland. We're just literally all over the world right now, but we're all connecting, and it's a really amazing thing. And I've been getting a lot of great texts from people. This has been recorded. I will send out the recording. I'll send it out to a handful of leaders, but if you want it, just shoot me a text or drop me a message. Not a problem, but we're not gonna keep this a secret. It's out for everybody that wants it. But I really genuinely think this has been, the best webinar that I've ever been a part of. And it was not just because of Wayne, although Wayne, you're just extraordinary, but I think it's the spirit of what we're all doing together, the contribution of every single leader that participated. And those of you that did not actually train, that jumped on, I'm getting texts, Jade Valentini. I think Melanie Levitz, so I think is in Germany on partial duty or active duty doing something right now. He was on this.
Yes.
And
Keith. Yes.
Yeah, it's just amazing. And then there's so many great people. Chris Summers, the texture's just flying in. But it's because of all of you. So here's the deal. 2018, it's not over yet. We got a couple more days. Let's finish strong. We don't walk to the finish line. We run through the finish line, because once we cross the 2018 threshold, we move into the next goal for the next year. And it is game time, game on. We finish strong and we start even stronger next year. We're doing a travel party in Maryland tonight, or this actually at 4:00 this afternoon. I know we got another one. I know Hadiatu is doing something. Pack out your calendar. Participate in the webinar tomorrow night. It'll be Max, Laura, and myself doing that webinar, 9 p.m. Just go to badasswebinar.com. It's the same it's always been. It's the same it's always going to be. And by the way, I won't get into all that. And then we're going to do another one on the 1st. So I think it's Tuesday. We got another one on Tuesday. I'll be doing that. I know Jamie Australia is going to be doing one with me, I think, on Wednesday. And by the way, for some of the leadership, if you're interested in doing a webinar with me, we're doing them every Monday through Thursday night, and we're also doing everyone on Saturday. If you want to participate in one, shoot me a text and let me know. We'd love to feature you and your story and get you out there. So, Wayne, I love you, my friend. Thank you so much. You are the official bee's knees.
I want to tell everybody the reason when Martin sounds red and driven and competitive and a leader and a winner and all that, it comes from his heart. It comes from his passion, because he's predominantly yellow. It comes out as red because he just has so much love. Okay. For you know, because he probably like me and probably like Rudy, when we were probably felt like the underdog. And all of a sudden we get to be older, and it's like we know what we went through mentally and emotionally to succeed in life. And then we have so much caring for other people, because we believe if we could do it, you could do it. You know, it's like when the reason that Rudy chose the actor Sean Astin to play him in the movie is because he watched the movie Goonies. And he liked the character that Sean Astin played in the movie The Goonies, you know, and he just kind of related to him. But, you know, how many of us out there feel like Goonies, you know, like these like an underdog kid, you know, because now we're an adult, but really we still got that kid inside. And I just want to celebrate Martin, because I know where he's coming from. Okay. He is such a servant leader. And, you know, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm doing, you know, God's work when I'm with Martin, you know, because we're just caring about, it's more than just success. Okay. Yeah. It's the success that we're helping others create. And to us, that's what's so energizing. And so if you thank you, congratulations to you for finding World Ventures, for getting on this webinar, for staying on this webinar. And yes, I absolutely salute Martin for his phenomenal, exceptional leadership for, you know, over 13 years here. His PAC team membership helped, you know, Martin always helping to co-create the company, that we call him at 2, 3, 4 in the morning and ask his advice on things. And so Martin has been a phenomenal co-creator of this company for all these years. And obviously, you know, my shout out to Hadiatu and Keith Willis, new IMDs. So proud of you. I love you both. Melanie, I owe you a call. Greg, always proud of you. So we're popping IMDs all over the world right now. And but thanks for having me, Martin. I'm glad I was able to play with you.
Thank you, Wayne. And I just also want to say, you know, as I started off by saying, leadership, Hadiatu didn't hit IMD by herself. Keith Willis didn't hit IMD by myself. I didn't do it by myself. It's a team. And I've been very, very blessed to have extraordinary leadership all around me that frankly make me look very, very good. People like Gail Spears, people like Bobby Cochran, who are, the two of them are pillars in this company, and absolute extraordinary leaders and extraordinary people like Dave and Yvette Uloa, and the list, you know, who are just, you know, Dave is like Obi-Wan Kenobi with, you know, with the mindset. He's just phenomenal. There's so many great people. And Pat Bernard, I've been seeing you in the chat. Pat, I love you. Thank you for your leadership, you know, and you're not the person that will step out to the front all the time. You don't need all the limelight and everything. And I just have tremendous respect for you and what you do and how you show up, because you've made a huge impact, huge. And everybody needs to know your name and needs to know who you are. So with that said, everyone, happy holidays, happy new year. Let's finish strong and let's start stronger. Wayne, you are the man, you are the myth, you are the legend in the flesh. All right, everybody. All right, love you guys. God bless everyone.
In Alabama.
Take care. See you in Alabama.